there's a dance between counterparties, and are you dancing using 2-ton granite blocks, or are you dancing using water? Are you dancing with air? And what structures can you create? And if we take all those things together and you consider the consequences for distribution, right? Bitcoin is something that can be distributed to everybody on Earth for free, effectively free. So it's truly liquid. What I need is, if I wanted to distribute something to 8 billion people and I wanted 8 billion transactions an hour forever, like I want that degree of fluidity, I need to do it at the price of a Satoshi, a transaction. I need to do it with very low friction. So this low transport cost, this low friction results in massive distribution. And we can see with gold, for example, there isn't 1 ounce of gold for everybody in the world to give them. And so there's no way to distribute money with gold. And if we take fiat, we know there's 1.7 billion people that are unbanked, maybe more, right? And so, and we know the ones that are banked are imperfectly banked, and the banks don't cross connect. So we can't find a good way to distribute money via fiat or via gold, but via Bitcoin, we do have a clear way. And I mean, the last element is this division, right? The ability to break it down. I can't break down a gold bar, a gold coin. I can sort of break down fiat, but even 1 penny is like too much sometimes. Being able to go to 1 Satoshi is better than 1 penny.
Yeah.
Especially because of this one thing. One of the big problems in cybersecurity is spamming and scamming. So I can't use the DMs of my Instagram because they're all 99% of the communication is spam or scam. I can't really use the DMs of non-verified or non-followed individuals on Twitter because of the same thing. I can't really use email without very expensive email filters that are continually filtering out spam and scam and the like. So there's massive amounts of cyber insecurity. Every single day, if you have a website, it gets attacked sometimes by a denial of service attack. There are all sorts of hostile actors that will do DDoS attacks all the time. The reason for DDoS attacks and scam and spam is there's no cost to attack it. There's no skin in the game. And so what we need is to introduce skin in the game. The way to do it is to require a value exchange whenever you move to a router. If you had to pay a price to send a message, at some point you would attenuate large amounts of that scammy, spammy activity. I mean, that's why proof of work was invented in the first place, right? Adam Back was trying to come up with a solution to stop spam. But the other thing you can do is you can actually tie the value, say 100,000 Satoshis, as a security deposit into your persona online. If you posted 100,000 Satoshis to your Twitter account, and if they gave you an orange check, and that was your security deposit, then the understanding would be, if you misbehave, you get fined. And if you're a malicious actor, maybe you forfeit the security deposit. This is the way it works when you're renting a home. This is the way it works in all the real world. You're a bonded laborer. You can't drive a car without proof of insurance, right? I mean, so we have these kind of insurance policies or security deposits or performance bonds that pop up all through the real world economy. And in the absence of all of those, because you're a real world actor, you have a risk. And the risk is if you misbehave, you have culpability. You're responsible. You may get pulled over by a cop. If you say something rude to somebody's wife, you may get punched in the face.
Yep.
I mean, you have either economic skin in the game or you have actual skin in the game.
Right.
If you walk out onto a bridge that's rickety and you screw around and do backflips and you fall off the bridge, you may die.
Yeah.
There are consequences in the real world and the economic world, but there are no consequences in cyberspace for many of these activities. And so the result is people actually even create programs to create bots.
Yes.
And I might spit out 100 million fake Michael Saylors that do irrational, malicious things. And they're not even me. They can't die. Yeah. Right. And the result of that, by the way, when you do that, that's a denial of service attack. Mm-hmm. The result of that is cyber insecurity. So the fluidity, the speed and the efficiency of the Bitcoin Lightning Network has the potential to give us a solution to the cybersecurity problem if we simply start to tie a small Lightning wallet or an amount into some of these systems that YouTube, Google and Facebook and Amazon and Apple and Twitter and Medium and Reddit and all these other places where people are, there's not a day that goes by that someone doesn't post a Michael Saylor video on YouTube offering to get you free Bitcoin. Yeah. I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
But there's no verification on YouTube or registration. So if you had to actually post some deposit and if you were forfeited the deposit, by the way, it's not that they don't take down the accounts. They do. Mm-hmm. They take them down within a day of when I report them. Every day there's 10 Michael Saylor accounts that get taken down on Twitter. It's just there's no economic cost.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I understated that really. The truth is in my news feed, there's 1,000 fake Michaels that have stolen my image and my name. If you charged them all $0.25 each, it would become a massive revenue source for Twitter. Right. The scammers would immediately realize that there's a cost to attack the system.
Yes.
The amount of malicious behavior would drop by 99%.
This is a tragedy of the commons, effectively, right? The freeloader problem, where there's no cost to these imitators, so they just keep repeating it. And apparently it's a profitable enterprise because, to your point, there's new ones every day.
And so the reason it exists is because the fiat standard system makes it too difficult to actually post something of monetary value.
Right.
The only way you can post something of monetary value in the fiat standard is with a credit card and you dox yourself and then you're not anonymous anymore. And so that's offensive to one group of people that don't want to be identified. They want privacy, but it's also prohibitive to another group of people that don't have a credit card. And a third group of people that have a credit card, but the credit card won't clear across nation state boundaries.
Yep.
Bitcoin solves that problem.
Yeah.
And it fixes it. So on one hand, one extreme benefit is, Bitcoin's a way to store $1 billion for 100 years. On the other extreme, Bitcoin's a way for everybody on Twitter to post 30 cents. Mm-hmm. In order to eliminate 99.9% of the malicious behavior and improve the quality experience. Now back to your dance. If Twitter can ask for 100,000 Satoshi deposit, and if people give it, and if Twitter's quality of service goes up by an order of magnitude and their cybersecurity enhances, that might put pressure on Instagram. Mm-hmm. That might put pressure on Google. And ultimately, now what you have is every big tech company competing with every other tech company to improve their service by building Bitcoin into their service. Yep. Because Bitcoin can eliminate fraud on YouTube. And Bitcoin can eliminate fraud and cyber insecurity on Instagram. And so you've got something. It's like, why do I adopt this new technology? because I can or because I need to. The early adopter does it because you can, and the later adopters do it because they need to. If PayPal doesn't roll out Bitcoin and Square does, then Square starts to eat PayPal's lunch, right? And if PayPal and Square both roll out Bitcoin and Apple and Google don't, right, then they're at a loss, right? So you have competition that's embracing new technology to progress the civilization to a better space. Bitcoin's the future for cyber. It's the promise of cybersecurity.
Right.
In fact, that's the great irony. People criticize Bitcoin as maybe being a tool of cyber hackers, but the ultimate destiny of Bitcoin is to make cyberspace safe for 8 billion people.
Yeah.
By building it into every cyber offering and creating, skin in the game.
Yes.
For every malefactor, and consequences that are not based upon counterparty risk and don't have to be threaded through nation states or central banks or credit card companies.